Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Vera. I am a St. Louis based cosmetologist and photographer, so most of the videos you will see on my video are relating to those topics with a little bit of beauty and lifestyle on the side. So in today's episode of The Sweet Life, I'm giving you guys a 1 month update on my journey to owning a salon suite, running a business, and just being a new cosmetologist. Just a little backstory: if you haven't watched any of the other episodes, I definitely suggest that you check those out. But I opened my salon suite in February on the 22nd, I believe. I signed my lease on the 10th, and then I was able to move in and everything on the 21st. And I had my first client on the 22nd. And so with the whole COVID situation, we had to close the first week of March, I believe, and then we weren't able to open back up until I want to say we opened back up the first week of May. So it was a little over a month that we were closed, and I decided to wait a little bit longer to give you guys an update because this is technically my first full month of working, which was from June the 6th till about, well, no, my first full week was definitely June the 1st to June the 30th, or whatever the last day of June was. And I felt like that would give me a good amount of information to kind of assess and just reflect on and tell you guys about. I can say that when I first started, for the first 2 weeks or week and a half, I was really nervous, and this was pre-corona shutdown. I was really nervous. Again, I started out with 8 clients, and most of them were friends and family. I just didn't know how I was going to grow my clientele. I was a little bit scared, but I decided to take the leap of faith anyway. And today I currently have 60 clients on my books. There might be like 5 or 6 of them that will most likely be one-off situations because they were only here during spring break or for a small trip, and one girl is actually moving. So if you watch this video, you know who you are. I hope things are going good at your new start in your new home, and I'm so excited for you. But yeah, so going from 8 clients to 60 clients is a blessing. I still have a long way to go, but I never would have thought that it would have happened this way. In terms of my 1 month update, what I can say that I have learned is, the first thing that I can say that I learned and kind of picked up on right away is coming up with a routine. And in terms of routines, I mean anything and everything. Come up with a workflow for how you do your services, how you do your shampoo, your chemical services, everything. Come up with a workflow so that way you're not just running around scrambling back and forth like a chicken with your head cut off. Come up with a routine. I wash first, I pump this, I get this, I move here. Like, come up with a groove. And this will take time, but definitely come up with a routine for how you do your services. Come up with a routine for your consultations. Come up with a routine for your cleaning, especially with COVID going on and everything. Like for me, my days to deep clean is Wednesday. I do a weekly deep cleaning, and then I have to clean between every client, which honestly, we should have been doing that anyway, even without Corona. But yes, I make sure I, clean everything before I have a new client. And then on Wednesdays, I deep clean everything. So that will consist of doing a thorough mopping. I have a Swiffer wet jet, or the one that can do both, but I bring in a mop and we do a big cleaning, and then I wipe the shelves down, I wipe all the bottles down, I wipe my storage down and everything like that. I do that once a week on Wednesdays. I also I'm working on this, but I want to develop a better routine for my inventory. I currently use Square for my processor, and since I do sell retail, I use Square for inventory as well. And I don't necessarily have a day just yet. I think it might be Monday though. But whenever I have some quiet time or a hole in my schedule, right now that's what I've been doing, is picking that day to go through my inventory, look at how much product I have for back bar and how much I have for retail. And since I keep so little on my shelf and I'm starting out, I don't really know exactly what I'm going to be selling a lot of. I can say there are about 3 products that I do sell a lot of, and when I started I was like, when someone buys one, either that day or the next day I'm going to go back and buy 2, and that was working for a little bit. But once business started picking up, I would find myself running to the supply store literally every day or every other day. I'm basically friends with them now, and not that I don't want to see them, I don't want to take up that much time. Every time I go to the store, that's taking time out of my schedule, that's gas, that's everything, and I only want to do that like once a week. So my plan is to maybe count inventory on Monday, and if I have time I can go purchase whatever I need to purchase, or if not, I'll just count everything, write out what I'll need or create a list, and then I'll go get it on Tuesday. And a good tip too is also to learn when your supply stores get their shipments in, so that way whenever you do go, you're not going on a day where it's slim pickings and they don't have what you need. But a good thing also to consider is getting your items delivered to you. I do believe, of course, there's a shipping fee for certain things and for certain supply stores, but you can either get your items shipped to you or you can go to the store. So again, coming up with a routine for that as well. Planning and having routines and having workflows, all of those things are going to help you run your business smoothly. They're going to make your client feel more comfortable because you feel more comfortable and you feel more confident, and you got to flow. So definitely establish routines. Another thing that you also want to do is set aside time to do your admin work, answering emails, sending out emails. Maybe there's a brand that you might want to work with, or you're interested in getting more product knowledge, or you need to look for more continuing education. And also your marketing, that's really big for getting clients and just building your community and your platform as a stylist and a salon business. You want to make sure you set aside time to create content, edit content, and put it out there. And also, even for those people who don't feel comfortable posting on maybe Instagram, there's still Facebook that you can post on your business page, your personal page. You want to share things. I definitely recommend coming up with a template if you're not booked out so far, or you're gonna have an opening. Come up with a template that you can use so you can advertise, I have an opening for X day at X time, and you can share that and then encourage other people to share that as well, just to help get people into your chair and filling in those spots. I found that it's a lot easier for me to be able to do those types of things when I set aside a time to do them, and then when I also already have these pre-made templates. And I just feel like when you have a salon suite, you don't have that big salon, you don't have like this bigger business or entity backing you up that has someone promoting for you already and posting on social media or wherever else you might want to post to get people in your seat or your chair. You have to do that on your own, and so it's definitely important that you set aside time for that, as well as setting aside time for yourself. This one has been really hard for me because I feel like this is the beginning of my business. I know I'm gonna have to be putting in a lot of hours, burning the midnight oil, but you're gonna run yourself ragged. And I have done that. I have effectively burned myself out, not with doing hair, but with just being tired. And so I do think it's important that you set aside time for yourself once a week, one day a week, even if it's a few hours. I don't know if many of you guys know, I have children, I have a husband, I have a family, and it's important to me to still get that family time in. And while my schedule is currently still very open and flexible while I'm building up my client list or whatever, it's still important to just pick a day to block off so you can spend quality time with your family, but also decompress and rest your body so you can be able to perform at your best abilities, you know. So because the last thing you want to do is a service and you're tired and you have an attitude, or maybe not so much you have an attitude, but you're just not your normal self, or you're a little grumpy and you don't want to make a mistake. So it's important to get your rest your body, rest your mind, and also fill your cup up so you can fill other people's cup as well. So since we're on the subject of clients, and I talked a little bit about how I went from 8 clients to 60, and it's only been about I'll say 45 days, because it's been a month and a week or so. But I want to talk about ways that I have been getting clients so far. For me, the number one way that I've been getting clients is honestly through, well, there's 2, but word of mouth, most definitely. You perform a service on someone, you do your best, you give them your all, and if they love you, they are going to shout it to the mountaintops. They're going to tell their cousins, their aunts, their sisters, their coworkers, everyone. And that has really been helping me get clients into my chair. And it starts with you doing one person, someone sees their hair and loves it, and so they're like, where'd you get your hair done? Oh, I got it done from Vera. And it just grows and blossoms from there. But then also having a little bit of an incentive doesn't hurt at all. For me, I do have a referral program where I was offering $10 if you referred someone to me, and then they would also receive $10 off. But I've honestly been getting a lot of people referring, and that's great. It's a blessing. But then also, the more discounts that I give people, the more money that I'm losing, which means I'm gonna have to work even harder, which means I'm gonna be working even longer, and I'm gonna be even more tired. So I have since lowered my referral incentive to $5, because I still want them to know that I appreciate them, I appreciate their business and choosing to come to me, because they really could have went to anyone. Another way that I have been getting clients is also through salon lofts ads, and I honestly can't tell you where they post their ads. I think someone said she saw one, not even gonna pretend like I remember where, but she actually saw it out somewhere, not online or anything, but they have ads out, and that really helps get people into my chair as well. Salon Lofts does charge a finder's fee of up to $30 whenever someone books you through one of their ads. And I guess it kind of I'm sure they use some sort of cookies or something to establish or decide, oh, they found you through one of our ads or whatever. And the good thing is sometimes that they're wrong, and no one's perfect, we all make mistakes. So if you do have someone new in your chair and they tell you, oh, I heard about you from so-and-so, or from your Instagram, or I saw your own ad, you can always dispute those finder's fees, which is also good. But for me, I looked at that as just, again, something positive, because if I get someone in my chair through Salon Lofts ads, and yes, I pay a finder's fee that one time, but if I make a lasting impression on them, they'll be back. So I'm only having to pay that finder's fee once. And it goes again, they get their hair done, they love it, and then you have that word of mouth where they're sharing, hey, this is where I got my hair done, or you should go see her, or I know a stylist that you might love, and it just kind of grows from there. Lastly, I have been getting people into my chair and into the salon by posting my own ads. I have only done one paid ad on Facebook, and I'm not really sure it helped all that much, but just by posting my own ads, either I post looking for models, where models will still pay a fee, but I get to record them and they get to get their hair done, or I'm just posting about having openings or a new service or something of that matter. I've gotten a good amount of clients from that as well. The one thing I do want to say though is to not get too crazy with handing out discounted services, because if you do that, you're either only going to see them that one time because they're just there for the deal, or you're going to start attracting low quality clients that don't want to pay you for what you think you're worth. If you think that you're worth $100 for a service and then you offer it to them for $60, they're not going to want to pay $100 ever, because you've already offered them $60, you know. I honestly can't say I have been doing a lot of discounts. I've maybe had 4 models, and of those 4 models, 2 have come back a second time. I don't know if I'm going to ever do another. Well, I mean, honestly, I would do another model call if it was something that I really wanted to do. I probably wouldn't give them that much of a discount though. I think I was only charging how much the product would cost me. So basically my labor is free and that's crazy because they love their hair most of the time. So I do have a few styles and a few techniques that I want to try. Not on a doll head and on an actual person. I might do a model call for those, but yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna give them half off. They might get a little bit off and we'll go from there. But I don't really see myself offering many discounts anymore. I might have something every now and again. I do have, outside of the referral incentive, I do have a birthday, kind of a birthday coupon where they can get $10 off, but that's only once a year because you only have a birthday once a year. And actually, since I'm on that topic, that kind of, all of this kind of ties into your consultation. So you want to make sure you have a really good and really thorough consultation, and not only talk about their hair, but like their lifestyle and how that ties into how they wear their hair. But then you also, you know, in casual conversation, ask them, how did they find you? And you can kind of start getting a good idea of, oh, my ads are working, or that's kind of a good indication that you're doing a good job because, oh, your friend referred you. Yes, I've done her hair, I love her. And it kind of goes from there. And then you can decide, well, I'm getting a lot of referrals, so let me either add a referral program, or, you know, let me just start pushing even more. Don't forget to tell your friends about me, something like that. And I do like to ask for birthdays, make sure I have an updated email address, because email marketing is important. And I used to feel bad at first, like, I don't want to send out this email, it's gonna look like I'm begging them to come in for business. But the thing is, you are a business and you need to make money. Does Ulta feel bad blowing up your email every other day? Or, sorry Ulta, I know y'all don't email me every other day, but I get emails from Ulta, I get emails from Sephora, I get emails from Famous Footwear, I get emails from brands all the time pushing their sales, pushing whatever. And so you gotta hop on the bandwagon. You have to put yourself out there, and you have to email these people and remind them that you're here ready to serve them. So make sure you have their email, make sure you have their birthday, because it's nice to add that little bit of touch of, oh, she remembered my birthday month, and let me treat myself to get my hair done for my birthday. And that, again, those are little things that you get during your consultation and just from learning more about your client. Another thing I wanted to share since starting my business is one of my favorites, selling retail. Selling retail is kind of like, I want to say it's a little bit of a passive income type situation, because you aren't putting much effort into the product. You know, you either buy it or whatever. If you're making it, that's a different story, but you're going to be making more from selling your own products versus selling someone else's products. But it's still a good form of income that doesn't necessarily include you doing a service. You could get to the point where if you're offering your retail products online or on social media or through word of mouth, people can place orders with you and then just come pick them up, or you can ship them to them. And that's a good way to make money without having to, you know, spend time behind the chair. And honestly, I've made a really good amount of money just selling retail. Again, it starts with a consultation. You want to know what your clients' needs are, what their goals are, how you're going to get them there, and how they're going to maintain this style. And whenever I'm doing a service, I walk them through and talk them through every single thing that I'm doing. I tell them about every single product that I'm using. I tell them about all of the benefits about this product. And then at the end, I'll explain to them, you know, this is what I used. I recommend that you purchase X, Y, or Z to take home. And 9 times out of 10, they purchase it. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, when I first started, I didn't really know how much retail I was going to sell or how successful I was going to be at it. And since then, I have had to purchase retail shopping bags and shippers or mailers so I can ship out products, because people have been buying them up, and I'm beyond grateful. I'm beyond blessed. I've even had people purchase during quarantine, and I can't thank you guys enough. If any of my clients are watching this, thank you so much for all of your support. I'm glad you love the products that I have recommended, and I can't wait to see you again. But yes, a part of being a good stylist is not just doing your client's hair. It's also giving them or offering them advice on products that they need to maintain healthy hair and to maintain their style. We also need to be teaching our clients how they can achieve certain looks at home, because I feel like as a stylist, the goal is not to have clients that solely depend on you for everything. The more you invest in your clients, the more they're going to value you and the more they're going to pay you. So have a mini session with your clients. I've had a mom come in and she was like, how do you get my daughter's hair so straight with a blow dryer? And you know, I told her, it's not a secret. Like, come on over here, let me show you, and I'm gonna do one side and you're gonna do the other side. And you know, that is just really, it's all about adding value to your client's life, and you can do that in more than one way than actually doing their hair. Client education is really important, and it matters, and it helps keep your client coming back for more, believe it or not. So remember that. Sell them retail, offer them retail, tell them why they need the products, and hopefully they buy it. Just try it out. I feel like, well, for me personally, I do deal with a little bit of self-doubt, and I've had every single client almost tell me, oh, whatever you want, I trust you. And it scares the crap out of me. It's like, oh my goodness, they're putting their trust in me. But because they're putting their trust in me, I really need to show up and show out. And on top of that, I need you to take this shampoo home, and I need you to take this spray home, because if you don't like the frizz, you're gonna need this anti-humidity spray, because it's the bomb, it smells good, and it works. So yeah, be sure to sell your retail. Be sure to teach your clients how they can achieve things at home, and just, you know, just keep offering your best. And I can say that a really good thing that I just want to give, I guess, Paul Mitchell a shout out for, they really pushed us with selling products and, you know, pushing retail, and also helping us with rebooking our clients. When I first started, I was on it with the rebooking. Like within 2 weeks, that third week, the whole week of clients I had was from rebooking, because you know, sometimes people come in every 2 weeks. But unfortunately, Corona happened, but unfortunately COVID happened and turned our lives around. So since we've been back open, and since it's been a month, I've been okay with the rebooking / pre-booking, whatever you want to call it. But I wasn't really on it like I was when I first started. But Paul Mitchell did teach me about selling retail and rebooking your clients. The goal is to be pre-booked, okay? Even if it's just a week or two out, I want to be pre-booked. But yeah, So thanks to Paul Mitchell for helping me with that. And that's also another incentive that you can add. Some stylists kind of disagree with that, and others, you know, they feel like anything to help them get their clients back in their chair. So you could offer $5 off if you pre-book before you leave, or I would never ever probably offer a percentage off, because the more they spend, the more you're gonna lose. So I usually do dollar amounts, and it's usually anywhere from $5 to $10. It's never more than that. But yeah, that's another incentive that you can offer in order to keep people coming back. And honestly, since we're on the topic of percentages and dollar amounts, I think it's good to move on to the next topic, which is money and pricing. When I first started, coming up with how much I was going to charge someone was hard. Not only because I am just, you know, I'm new to running my own business and setting prices, but also because I'm just new to the game, point blank period. So when I was first starting out, it was a struggle trying to establish pricing, because I have never really ran this type of business before, and I'm also new to the game as a stylist. So it's not like I had that background where I worked at a salon and I kind of knew what they charged and what the deal was. All I knew was at Paul Mitchell, you know, they have their discounted prices, and then they also charge extra per extra product. So for me, the first thing I did was kind of looked around at what the other loft owners at my location was charging for services, and then I also looked at some of the other loft owners in different locations, just to kind of get an idea of what they were charging in my specific location and in just the city in general. I did not look into any other actual full service salons for the most part. I just looked at loft owners because I feel like, you know, things can just kind of be different in terms of how things operate and what you would have to pay and all that other good stuff. So I looked at that and used that as a starting point. Then I also, you know, the very first thing I did actually when I decided I was going to open a salon suite was figured out how much would my weekly rent be, because for those of you who don't know, most salon suite owners pay rent weekly. So I decided how much would I need to make per week to cover my loft, so I figured out how much I needed a week to cover my rent, and then I also gave myself a monthly credit for back bar supplies, retail supplies, and I also offer different snacks and refreshments, and so I have an allowance for that as well. And I kind of came up with a weekly goal based on that and how much I wanted to pay myself hourly. And then I basically put all that together and came up with how much I would need to charge per hour per service. And so when you go through and you look at your services, you kind of get an idea of, you know, how much time you're going to have to spend on this service. So if it takes me 4 hours to do a full foil and blow dry, tone, blow dry, and style, I'm going to charge my hourly rate times 4. And then if you use extra product or anything of the sort, you would add that on there. So I have a starting price for all of my services listed on my menu. None of them are actually just set, except for maybe a men's cut and a women's cut. And then when they come in, we can decide from there if they want to add something or whatever. And that was cool for a little bit, but after a while I kind of noticed I really kind of just felt like I wasn't allowed to charge a lot or more than what I felt I was worth, because I was just starting out and I was new, and you have other people around you that have been working for 10 years and they're only charging this much or XYZ. But at the end of the day, you know your worth and you know what you deserve, and you really only want to attract clients that match that energy, that feel like you deserve to be paid this much for your service. So it's been a month, well, about 45-ish days if you include the 2 weeks I worked before we had to shut down, and I've already went up on my prices. And I just feel like you get feedback from your clients. I've literally had clients tell me, you know, I tell them what the final total is for their service and they're like, that's it? That was an indicator for me that something is up. Am I undervaluing myself? Which I do sometimes. I admit that I need to work on my, not so much self-love, but you know, you need to know your worth and then add tax. And I kind of feel like I'm always like, well, I'm newer, or well, it took me a little bit longer to do this, so I'm not going to charge as much. No, charge. That's something that I had to get used to. It took me 5 hours to do someone's hair. They had a head full of hair down to their back and it was thick. So it's like you need to charge extra for your time, extra for your products, and just for the quality of the service that you're offering. And another thing that I noticed in terms of pricing, and which is why I went up on my price, is because, you know, I used to offer the option of, let's say, adding a bond builder to your lightening service. That shouldn't be an option. A client shouldn't have to choose between the integrity of their hair or saving $15 or so. So I went up on my price because you need this. This is something that you need if you're going to get this service. And another thing also that you can think about is, we talked about consultations and having your clients buy product. If you feel like you need to include the cost of purchasing retail into your overall, you know, service, that's an option too. And I honestly feel like a lot of clients will feel that they're really getting a deal if they didn't necessarily expect to be buying product, but they expect to be paying a certain amount of money. Like, oh, the product is included in that price, it's a deal for everybody. I feel like that would help too. I don't outright offer products with the cost of my service, but depending on what all we do, I'll say, oh, well, this is what you have, so you have $10, you have $10 towards one of the products. So I recommended this conditioner for you. You can get this conditioner, you'll get this conditioner with your service, it'll only be $10. And most of the times they're going to be like, yeah, sure. And you've already throughout your service been explaining to them the benefits, how it works, how it's going to help them, and the fact that they need it. And so when they feel like they're getting a discount on it, they're going to buy it anyway. I mean, you're already paying the $10, so you might as well add the other 10 on there so you can get this stuff for your hair. And the funny thing that I've noticed as well is that since I've gone up on my price, I have been getting tipped more. And I guess when I initially thought about it, I really wasn't thinking about the basic math to all of it. Like, when you tip, you pay 17% or whatever the case may be. So if I have a service that's $30, they're, you know, gonna give me what, a $6 tip, or what is it? Let me see, let me do the math. If I have a service that's $30 and they give me a 17% tip, that's only $5.10. So that's only $5. But if you have a service that's $65 and say they tip you 17%, you're getting $76. So it's like, of course, the higher the service, the more you're gonna get tipped. And then with using Square, I have the smart tipping turned on, so they can just, you know, it does all the math for them. Most of the times I think they use one of the smart tipping. I have a few clients that you can kind of tell they'll just add on their own amount, and it's still an outrageous amount. Like, I'm very, very just blessed and grateful. But at first when I raised my price, I was a little bit worried that they weren't going to want to tip, and that was going to be my indicator to, did I make the right move raising my price the way that I did? And they've been tipping even more, so I guess I should have, you know, it was a good thing, a good move to make. And then also, you just kind of want to think that the lower you start, the harder it's gonna be to raise your prices later on down the road. So say for instance, you have Karen who comes in to get her color touch up, and you charge her $90, and you eventually go up on your price a year later and you charge $110. She's been used to paying $90 all year, and she's gonna look like, why do I have to pay $20 more? I don't understand. Like, what's the point? If I've been paying $90 this whole time, can you grandfather me in, or whatever the case may be? And it's like, you train them into only paying this much, but then when you go up, they're not going to want to pay what you feel like you're now worth. So start off at a comfortable number. Never cut anything. If you feel like you're worth X amount of dollars, I would honestly go up $5 or 10 if you really have confidence in your work and know that regardless of what other people are charging or offering, you are worth this and people should pay that. Like, you only want to attract clients that are matching your energy and what you feel like you're worth. You don't want anything less. And I don't know. Another option in terms of pricing that I think I might consider is doing different packages. So like, say you'll have a basic, mini, or an express, or a full glam, or whatever. I don't really have girly terms because I do have a very diverse group of clients. I do have some males and I do have females as well. But I do think I want to add something to make it a little bit easier for clients to decide and know what they're expecting. Of course, when they book a partial, it's like they know I'm only going to do a partial foil, but having different packages, it gives the illusion to them saving more, which sometimes they are really saving more, and it is a really good deal. It's just more appealing to the eye when I book a bombshell blonde mini package, or a, you know, bombshell full glam. I don't know, you know, come up with your own names, but I think that's cute. And also utilizing the description box for whatever booking service you use. Put everything that they're getting or that's offered or included in the service, so that way they can kind of know beforehand, this service costs $230. Why? Well, when you look at the description, this is why. And if they don't read the description when they book it, when they come in, be sure to go over all of that with them. You can even pull out, if you have like a printed out menu, or if you just want to pull up on your phone, your tablet, whatever. So this is what we booked and this is what we're going to do. Explain the process to them, so that way they can kind of get an idea of why the service costs what it costs. And then if they have any extra that needs to be performed as well, they'll know what the extra charge will be for that too. I'm really honestly glad that I went up on my price, because I know what I want to offer and I know what I need to do for some clients, and I don't want to necessarily lose money trying to offer people what I want to offer them and what I think they need and deserve. And for instance, it's like with the bond builder, I don't want people to have to decide on saving money or using a bond builder. Or if I feel like a client needs a clarifying treatment, or, you know, a mineral removal treatment before we perform the service, it's fine because it's included in the price. So I don't have to have this awkward talk with you about doing this before we perform the service and X, Y, and Z, because it's already built into the price. So it saves me that, you know, conversation, and it saves you feeling like, oh, I was expecting to pay this much and now I gotta pay this much type situation. that's really it. I'm comfortable where I'm at, and I also feel like when you are charging what you feel like you're worth, it's less likely that you'll get burned out, because you're getting paid what you're worth. It's not like you feel like, oh my goodness, I spent 7 hours doing X, Y, and Z and I only made $100, and that'll get old fast. So just to save the longevity of your career and your mental health and physical health, be sure you're charging the appropriate amount of what you need to be charging for services. Like that is important, and I've learned that, and I still have more to learn, but again, this is just the 1 month update, so this is just what I have for you guys so far. Lastly, I know we touched on education a little bit in episode 1. I don't want to say I was solely relying on salon lofts to offer education, but that was a huge reason why I decided to go with them. But unfortunately, since the whole COVID situation has happened, the classes that were scheduled were canceled or online. I think there was one class that they switched to a Zoom or something online, but I opted not to do it. But luckily, there have been so many great online options for education. Behind the Chairs offering education. A lot of my favorite stylists that I follow on Instagram, they also have education. So I have been turning to online education this past month, and also while we were on quarantine, I tried to, soak up as much knowledge as I could before we started. But then I also discovered that a lot of brands, of course, they have their own education that you can go to online. Like for me and any other Paul Mitchell student out there, I don't know if you have like a lifetime membership to Paul Mitchell Pro, but you do have access to Paul Mitchell Pro, and they have different tutorials and education for color, cutting, styling, and all of that. And I actually have been able to explore other brands as well and learn more about other lines. And also, that is something else that I experienced. I have, since when I first started, I was, primarily using Paul Mitchell, the Color XG, and the Demi. And I have now branched off, and I have been loving Pulp Riot. Mainly their lighteners and their vivid colors, and I started using Shades EQ. I'm one of those people that kind of don't want to go with the trend, and I feel like every stylist and their mom uses Shades EQ, but I wasn't necessarily getting all the results that I wanted with the Demi. And then I switched to PM Shines, which I'm loving PM Shines, but I still wasn't getting what I wanted. So I switched to Shades EQ. I've used it twice so far and have absolutely loved it. I'll share some pictures here for you guys. But I'm really excited to continue to explore different brands and find what I am truly in love with. So far, I'm good with whatever other Paul Mitchell products I use, whatever treatments I use, but I have kind of branched out and started trying new things, and I'm excited. I'm excited to just see where this journey goes. All in all, that's really all that I have to share with you guys. I know this has been a long sit down video, but I hope it was packed with enough information for you guys to take something away from this video. But I will say before I go, another tip that I have learned that has been very, very crucial for me, because again, it's not like I have that salon family to back me up or instill certain policies and whatnot for me. I have to do all that for myself, is to just follow your heart and don't be afraid to say no. If there is a service that a client is requesting that you don't feel right doing, either because of the service itself or because of the client, and you feel like it's going to cost you, way too much energy and your peace, tell them no. It's only been as long as it's been, and I've already blocked one client. Luckily I haven't had any other incidents, but you know, I don't expect things to be easy or just like all good vibes all the time. I know that I'm going to experience some things along my journey, but the best advice that I have received from another loft owner was what I just told you guys. Like, don't be afraid to tell them no if it's going to cost you your peace and your energy, or if you feel like you're going to be jeopardizing the quality of your work. If someone comes in with really damaged hair and wants to go platinum or whatever the case may be, don't be afraid to tell people no. Or if you have yourself a Karen that is just a pain in the ass and doesn't respect the boundaries that you have in place, or you know, whatever, don't be afraid to block them. Don't be afraid to tell them no. Don't be afraid to fire clients. Like, set your standards high and keep them there, and don't feel bad about it. At the end of the day, this is your business and you want success, and sometimes you got to tell people no in order to you know, be happy and continue doing what you do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will definitely see you guys in the next one, and please don't hesitate to reach out, either slide into my DMs on Instagram, or leave a comment down below with any questions or anything that you guys have for me. I love, you know, chit-chatting with you guys. Shout out to Ari. I met her. She's came across my videos. Hey girl, thank you so much for messaging me. It's so nice to make other stylist friends, so let's keep making this circle bigger of stylist friends. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye. Also, I forgot that if you have not subscribed to my channel, I need you guys to subscribe right now, because it means the world to me, and because it just helps me know that, you know, all this hard work I'm putting into these videos is not in vain, that you guys are loving the content, or you like it a little bit, or it's helpful for you. And yeah, all right, for real this time, I'll see y'all later.